I was looking for something that would challenge me, something that would contribute towards something bigger than myself. My name is Therese Kobela, and I'm in a 2-year engineering development program here at Transnet. What I love about this program is they're trying to develop me to become a well-rounded engineer. They pay for my tuition, they paid for my accommodation, I stayed at Res, they paid for my textbooks and everything. That really just inspired me to work very hard, and I managed to pass my degree in record time. It gave me that push and that drive. So in as much as I'm a mechanical engineer, with this program, I get the opportunity to learn about the different fields of engineering. For example, I'm learning about the signaling system, which is responsible for moving the railway. So, you know, in as much as that's mechanical with the actual movement of the railway, we've also got electrical components with information being sent from the control center to the actual railway to actually moving the railway line. And then also the electrical aspects where, you know, at varsity, it was very theoretical, but actually being able to see those circuits in real life and how they work is very interesting.
It is a big part of our responsibility as a state-owned entity to make sure that we do develop skills. We have a variety of programs where we also fund students bursaries to study towards an engineering qualification. Once they graduate, we then bring them back into Transnet as engineers in training, and they do their training on the job for a period of 24 months. The different trainees can then be placed within the organization or released into the market.
Courses of training that I've attended.
They are allocated a mentor who is tasked to look after them, make sure that their training is meaningful, because at the end of their 2 years, we want a fully fledged engineer who is going to hit the ground running.
Having a mentor is definitely very beneficial because my mentor guides me. He's actually gone through this program before me, so he knows exactly what is expected. Being a woman in a field that's typically male-dominated also goes back to some of my reasoning for why I did mechanical engineering. I wanted a challenge. I also was keen to be in a space that is historically not populated by women. It feels like something special. I feel like I'm a part of history. My advice to students studying at the moment in South Africa is never lose sight of your dream. Know that you are deserving. I think that was a big change for me when I realized that, you know, I am deserving, and it's just my job to do my very best in my studies, work hard, and prove yourself so that those opportunities can come to you. And I think I'm living testimony of that.
Transnet is a state-owned transport and logistics company. We offer a seamless and integrated logistic solution to our customers. In other words, we take their commodities or products through our rail network straight into the port for export. Transnet has got over 50,000 employees, dedicated men and women that have sacrificed their family time to make sure that the wheels of the trains are churning. We're not operating in isolation of what's going on within our societies. We are our societies. So it's very important that we give back. The Pelo Pepper Train is one of the many CSI initiatives that are undertaken by Transnet, aimed at affording marginalized community with healthcare services.
The Transnet Pelo Pepper comprehensive primary healthcare trains, two of our favorite globally recognized flagship projects. Those are my babies that I'm custodian of. We do a 9-month journey, going across the country, rendering these services for that period of 2 weeks that we're stationed at a particular community. Pelo Pepper has been in existence as a project since 1994. We render a basket of comprehensive primary healthcare services. We have specialist clinics dealing with dentistry. We do basic dentistry, scaling, polishing, up to extraction. We have our optometry services, and we're very, very, very proud of Pelo Pepper because our optometry services are a one-stop service. Pelopepa has our own onboard laboratory, and within 20 minutes of your prescription being handed in to the lab technicians, they're able to bevel and manufacture that pair of spectacles. A lot of the people who come in here are the breadwinners in their families. You walk in here having an eyesight problem and you walk out with a pair of specs. Literally, it is a life-changing event for our patients. We have 22 permanent staff on board, and this includes the support and logistics teams that keep the lights burning and the food in our tummies. Pelopepa is a tough environment to operate in, and they work hard.
I'm responsible for the operations of the train. Working in this train is very much rewarding and fulfilling. It demands the passion from you, each and every one of us on the train, to be able to say, we see the need out there and we can see where we can fit in and play our part. We don't just address the reported problem, but we make sure that we assess almost all the systems in the body so that even things that the patient is not aware of are picked up and interventions are made way on time. You must have love for the patients. Yes, you can have your skills, but if you have your skills and your heart is not here, and then you are in the wrong place.
Pelopepa is also about teaching. So we have a partnership with universities and training institutions across the country. We have contracted them to provide us with final year students who use Pelopepa as a learning platform. If you look at the youth who come to this train, they come in here rambunctious, they come in here playful, and they leave very serious and committed to changing the health landscape of this country. We're now hitting the 15 million patient mark, and it is a considerable achievement for a company who knows nothing about healthcare. We're in infrastructure, so imagine us leveraging these resources to improve access to healthcare by millions of South Africans. It is the most amazing thing, pulling into a station and finding a whole community waiting out there. They praise worship. They sing songs of glory to God for having brought them this miracle train. And it's actually where both the little old ladies have gotten their nicknames, because Pelopepa is known as the miracle trains. When you're part of the Pelopepa family, it just instills in you a sense of civic duty and obligation to just make the world a better place.
South Africa is still troubled by inequality, poverty, and unemployment. And the truth is, to solve that problem is not only going to be done by government or the big companies. SMMEs actually contribute quite a lot to the GDP. They account for 90% of businesses, and they also give opportunities to marginalized communities. So it's important that they get the right support so that they can grow and sustain themselves and continue to create sustainable jobs in the communities in which they operate.
Aviation Engineering and Projects is a mechanical engineering company specializing in steel manufacturing. I have great passion for engineering, especially on manufacturing and design. I get a lot of motivation if I know that there are projects in place, especially the projects that are challenging me. That one motivates me more than anything. And also to know that we are going to invoice as well. That one is also a great motivation.
It's not easy being a business owner, let alone a small one. The big commercial banks, they're asking for things that ordinarily a small, medium enterprise doesn't have because they've just started, right? Which is why we're building programs that are aimed at assisting them specifically in those areas. We've created what we call the Kgodisa Enterprise Development Fund, which is aimed at providing financial assistance to our suppliers within our system.
Aviation is a supplier for Transnet. We've been with Transnet from the start. We receive the funding, they pay our suppliers, they give us a working capital, and with the working capital, we're able also to buy the machines. Without the CODISA funding, it was not possible to pull that project because we didn't even have a workshop. So we had to start everything from scratch. Now, our mission is to expand in terms of the market because we can offer a lot of services there. We want to contribute a lot to the South African economy. I would advise anyone who wants to start a business, make sure that you have a plan in place. Just have your own idea. Look at the finishing line. It could take 20 years, but at the end, you make sure that whatever that you do, you leave a good legacy for yourself.
The Atlantis Special Economic Zone is a defined geographic area, and within that area or zone, the normal rules of the broader economy don't apply. It's given special rules, special tax incentives as a way of stimulating industrial manufacturing. Special economic zones in South Africa have all been located in areas that require some kind of development or upliftment. Atlantis is a great location and it's got a lot of potential as a special economic zone. It was traditionally an area that was targeted for settlement under apartheid and largely a resettlement area for coloured people moved out of areas in Cape Town. And it was encouraged to develop via incentives. Those incentives were withdrawn and the area subsequently went into decline. But over time it has grown, in a sense, better connected to Cape Town, and it has large tracts of vacant industrial land that's already serviced. So it's a great opportunity to say, how do we take existing infrastructure and turn it into something special? In more recent years, we've seen obviously a lot of interest in moving towards sustainable economies, things that will address the climate crisis and help us really produce and manufacture in a sustainable way. Atlantis specifically is a green technology or green tech economic zone, so it has got a particular focus in terms of the investors that it's targeting and also how it will operate and run as a zone itself. The idea is not to actually do wind or solar in the zone, but rather to look at how the components for wind towers, for wind turbines, for solar panels could be manufactured in South Africa and to create this dedicated area for that to happen. We have Zone 1, which we're doing at the moment, and we just have embarked on a tender process, and we're in the process of appointing a contractor who will put in the civil infrastructure and will begin building the first factory for our first investor, Dr. Dean Pillay. Pillay has been with us for a long time on this journey, so we're very excited that we now have finally got to a point where we can build his factory in the coming year.
I wanted to go into manufacturing because that's where you can bring real innovation and real value add into the economy, but most of all job creation. We've exported our raw materials and then have to import the finished products. I decided that I'm gonna put a business plan together and then use my savings, my funding, whatever I could get to realize this dream to build my own acetylene plant. Acetylene basically is manufactured by the chemical reaction between calcium carbide and water. It's used in a number of industries. So most common is for welding and cutting and fabrication industries. When it's combined with oxygen, it gives you a very, very high flame of 3000 degrees, so it can basically cut through anything. What excites me about the uses of acetylene is that as we move into the renewable energy, acetylenes can be used in the manufacturing of solar panel, the gas that goes around into it. The plant was finally commissioned in March 2022 with 500 bottles of acetylene. During that time, between that time and now, I've recruited 3 young people. If you look at the socio-economic situation in this Atlantis area, you can see it's very dire. In a small way, I hope to make a contribution because it might be 3 people that I've employed, but that 3 people have a family that's dependent on that.
So die ISEZ sal 'n betere toekoms wees vir ons in Atlantis wat so swaar kry, regtig waar dit sal 'n verligting vir ons wees om vir ons werk te verskaf, regtig waar net om die poverty uit ons plekjie uit te haal, regtig van Atlantis is 'n plek waar jy regtig nie werk kry nie.
My aim in the future is to have an oxygen plant next to my acetylene plant because these 2 products feed from each other. I also saw that there is a huge opportunity for gas cylinders. So I want to own that whole value chain. The ASEZ, they saw the potential in me, in my company, and what the land that I was allocated in the SEZ to set up a formal facility that will definitely address my manufacturing potential. On my way home, I stopped next to the SEZ land and I park, I look over that land and I can see the possibilities that's yet to come.
You can't have sustainable manufacturing without involving people and without benefiting people. So another key component of our programs as a special economic zone is to look at how we can really have the community as a key partner with us, a kind of social shareholder, if you like, that walks this journey with us and through which we build shared value. The FLAME program, and FLAME stands for Financial Literacy and Microenterprise. That's a year-long program that targets small enterprises in Atlantis. It gives them training around core business skills that you really need to run a micro or small enterprise. One of the participants of that program, Melanie Andrews, a remarkable resident of Atlantis, she was involved in this program and benefited from it, and through it was able to better manage her business and to run it more sustainably.
Cuddles in Care started on the 1st of August 2012. Today, I've had over 200 children through my hands already. We focus so much on caring for the children because that's where our heart lies, making sure the children get the proper teaching, that they develop as the stages of life requires for them. We tried so many times to apply for funding, but we could never because we weren't compliant, there was no financial records, nothing like that. FLAME was a financial literacy program that has really changed the lives of over 60 people. We learned how to do our administration, how to do our accounting, how to do costing, how to do taxes, how to become compliant. And the plus point about the FLAME is the mentoring and coaching. So every month on the 7th of the month, the coach will come out and he will look at your documentation. If you had a struggle, he will tell you how to do it. The biggest benefit that I've had in the last 6 months in the FLAME program was the fact that I saw a profit. 2 months ago, my stove broke and I could go buy a stove cash because I was taught through the FLAME program to save, and I've never done it before.
Another example of a program that we've done in the enterprise development space is the Atlantis Food Security Program. That targeted about 21 small-scale farmers and people who were interested in getting into farming. And it was specifically around giving them the skills to run a small-scale farm as a business and to look at it from an enterprise perspective. One of the successful participants in that program was Anastasia Smith, who's just recently won a contract with a company that's purchasing her fresh produce.
I grew up on the Cape Flats, Balhaar. Before my mom passed away, she told me that her great-grandfather was a farmer, so I suppose it runs in the blood. Produce that we usually produce, while it's always seasonal, would be lettuce, coriander, rosemary, basil, spinach, spring onions, English rape and mustard spinach in winter. The challenges we find, besides the load shedding, is the cost of labour, the cost of petrol, diesel. You go a step forward and then you go 2 steps backwards, and then it's like a little dance you do. But you know, you want to do this, but there's a bit of a struggle there for us emerging farmers. I was introduced to the ASEZ through the food security program. We started early in March with this program, and the networking and the business opportunities that I found myself in, I'm blown. I'm just totally stunned. The key takeaway was my soil requirements that I needed, because I've got very sandy, loamy soil, and I was told to do a lot of composting to assist me with that. And I can see the difference already. I was approached by a company to do a chili contract for them for 3 years. This was the ultimate. Reason being, I just had to grow. The market was there, it was sold already. This great opportunity came at the time when I was busy with the ASEZ program, the food security program. So all the legality questions that I had, because I did not know about contracts, I could have asked them, and they were very super at assisting me and answering all my questions. This is just a dream come true.
For us, it's not just about providing a training program or providing a site and walking away. It really is about going down a path, walking a journey with our investors, with our community or other shareholders around creating value and opportunities. So the Atlantis SEZ could be seen as the cornerstone of South Africa's strategy for growing the green economy. There's opportunities in South Africa, but there's also opportunities globally. And if South Africa is to take advantage of those opportunities and to be a player in that global green economy, then the Atlantis SEZ is really an important part of that equation.